Hey guys, welcome back to Blaze Goddess Tarot. For today's pick a card reading, we are looking into what is blocking your money and how to fix it. You got pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Go ahead and pause the reading and pick the pile that calls out to you the most. Hi, pile number 1. If you chose this crystal, then this is your reading. Before we get into it, I do want to say that this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you want to book your own personal what is blocking your money and how to fix it reading, the link is in the description at BlazedGoddess.com. You just go to the readings and just pick it out. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So for pile number 1, what is blocking their money and how to fix it? For pile number 1, what is blocking their money and how to fix it? Oh, okay. It lifted up my whole amethyst. So I feel like it's something you might already know about. You have the Tower, you have the 3 of Wands, and the Chariot. So far, with these 2 cards, I already feel kind of a message. So we're going to take a pause and get into these cards. So with the Tower, because you got 3 major arcana out of 4 cards, that's pretty significant. I feel like you have a huge potential to make a lot more money than what you do now. But I feel like you might be actually waiting for something to kind of happen to you because you're not really trying to be your real authentic self. You're not really going with your gut. You're not going with your soul. You're kind of going as, I'm just going day by day. You're not really like planning out your week. You're not really planning out your month. You're not setting like regular goals and sticking to them. You're not, well, you might be setting goals. You might be like, yeah, I have this set for me. But it's like, what steps are you actually taking? So it's like with the Emperor, I feel like you're very capable of doing whatever your heart is saying. I even feel like once I said there's something that you're not letting go of, you probably automatically know what I'm talking about. When I say that you already have this dream, this goal, you probably already instantly thought about it. So I feel like you already have plans, you already have the intuition, you already have the knowledge. You already have all these tools that you need to become who you want to be. It's just with the Tower and the 3 of Wands, either something has to happen to you or you're just waiting for something to happen to you instead of kind of like taking this moment for what it is. You're just wanting the moment to take you instead. Or maybe you're a procrastinator. I know I didn't say that right, but, maybe you get distracted a lot. Maybe sometimes you're not motivated. I feel like you're more of a daydreamer than, like, I feel like you have a go-getter spirit. It's just you're not really being yourself. You're not really being that go-getter that you're kind of like set out to be, if that makes sense. What else for pile number 1? You have the 4 of Pentacles, the 2 of Swords, and the 5 of Wands. Sorry, there's a little too many cards, but we'll work it in. So, with the 4 of Pentacles and the 2 of Swords, I immediately felt like you might be not insecure, but you might be letting certain things get to you that shouldn't really be getting to you. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like you might be kind of afraid of failure. You're not really seeing things clearly. You're not really taking the time to really pause and have that moment with yourself and kind of prep yourself. I feel like you might be kind of caught in, like, maybe you're overcomplicating it, is what I'm trying to say. Maybe you're making it more complicated than what it is. Maybe when you think about this goal, you kind of think about more of a hopping right into it. You know, you don't really say, okay, let's break this big goal down into little small goals and accomplish small goals at a time, and it'll eventually lead me into an energy where I am accomplishing those big goals, right? You kind of need to take this big goal and kind of make it where it's bite sizes. So like when you sit here and you know, accomplish something, you can sit there and feel satisfied. You know, like when you eat like a little bitty snack, you know, you feel full, you feel satisfied. You're like, okay, I think I'm good for today. I don't need to overindulge and make myself sick. I don't need to overwork myself and drain myself, or make it where it's more draining than it is exciting. You don't want to ruin the excitement. I feel like there might be also a lot of distractions. It might even be people. Maybe there's some people that kind of put worries in your head, or maybe you shared your goal with somebody and they're just like, well, how is that going to work? Don't worry about it. It's pile number one's business, okay? It's just, I feel like with this Four of Pentacles, a way of fixing this problem is to really sit down with yourself a little bit more. And I know that's like kind of like the opposite of, you know, what people think they need to do for money. A lot of people overwork or overindulge. But if you don't sit down and actually take time for yourself, you're going to end up being kind of like clueless and not really knowing what you want. If you're always go, 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 and you're just working like a 9 to 5, not really thinking about what you're going to do in 5 years, next thing you know, in 5 years, you're still doing that 9 to 5, unsatisfied. So it's kind of like maybe you have people around you that take up too much of your time. Maybe you have people that are there just to distract you. And like maybe you need to... Yeah, because with the Two of Swords is really standing out to me. It's like kind of like not really seeing the way. So maybe you might be working with these people the wrong way. Maybe you need to look at your social circle and realize, okay, are these people helping me elevate, or are they helping me stay still? Or you can also ask, be like, okay, what can I learn from these people? What kind of things do they know that I don't know? Can I learn from them? Is there anything that actually will better me through this person? Or if it is a 9 to 5, is the building, is the company really serving you? Or is there another job that can serve you and teach you more? Like, let's say you wanted to have your own business. You need to kind of have a job that you can see like inventory and audit and stuff like that. So when you do your own business, you take what you learned from that job and you're like, okay, that's a bite-sized piece. People are training you. So when you go and do your own thing, you already have that experience. It's already, you know, satisfied. You already kind of know what you're doing. So when you go towards this bigger goal, you already have something to work off of instead of just nothing. So we're going to get some oracle cards. See what else and how to fix it. How to fix pile number one's money. How to fix their money. Yeah, I also feel like if you don't know something, always ask. Like, even if you're not asking like an actual person, just ask the universe. Just ask it out loud. Because I bet you you're also going to get the answer. Because I do that a lot. And I know I'm a tarot reader and everything like that, but it really, me personally, that don't really matter. You can always ask out loud. Be like, I want to know, you know, let's say you wanted to know what tire size you have or something like that. And you go to a gas station and you're doing your air and someone comes over and asks you, you know, do you need help? Ask them. You know, always take these type of little situations as a door to success. Always think to yourself, okay, is there any type of questions I can ask them? Even if it's a stranger. Even if you ask the universe will always show you. Heal, yeah. I feel like the heal is more about like what other people think and maybe the insecurities that I was talking about. Maybe you're the one keeping yourself, you know, confrontation. Maybe you're keeping yourself from facing these fears. You're really keeping yourself from not seeing yourself for who you really are. Not really putting yourself out there. You're probably just keeping yourself more in a cage than anything. Like, I don't know if you ever seen one of those posts on Facebook, but it's like a woman trying to let the bird out of the cage. And, like, the door's wide open, but she's asking him, like, why are you still in the cage? I'm letting you go. And the bird's like, well, this is all I've known. It's kind of like you had the door wide open to success, to having so much more money. Like, I feel like this pile, you have so much potential in you. But it's like you're staying in a comfort zone. You're not really trying to let yourself free. You're not really trying to grasp this opportunity for what it is. I mean, everybody's goal is different. So I can't really sit here and be like, oh, well, this, and this. You can always Google it. You can always, you know, look up YouTube videos and be like, how do millionaires become billionaires? You know, stuff like that. You can always ask, you know, your friends. You can always ask your intuition. I just feel like y'all do already have a goal. Even if it's a dream career or if you even need to go and find it. I feel like in your soul, conscious or subconscious mind, you know what you want to do. Maybe it's just one of those things where you have to sit down and actually, like, ask yourself, like, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? Even if you Google a bunch of list jobs, like a huge list of nothing but jobs and careers, and to sit there and be like, how would I feel being, you know, a police officer? How would I feel being a firefighter? How would I feel being, you know, a bank teller? You know, even if you had to stop and ask yourself these questions and imagine it for a little bit, you know, that's what it kind of needs. Even if you stop and do 5 jobs in one day, that's fine. Even if you have to job jump, that's fine too. Whatever you feel called to. What is blocking? Yeah, the zebra. See, I feel like it's really just, you know yourself. Even if you haven't really discovered yourself. I feel like this is just me being on repeat now. With the zebra, it's like, each zebra has its own stripes. You know, not every zebra, they may look the same, but they're really not. You know, each zebra has its own stripes. So you can't look off of what everybody else is doing and compare yourself to that. You can't be like, well, my family's always been lawyers. They've always been, you know, with the law. I have to do that too. No, you don't. If you want to turn around and be an artist, be an artist. You know? I don't know how I just flipped this whole deck. Okay. How to fix pile number 1's money. You have kindness. What if being kind to yourself really could change everything? Yeah, you gotta be brave to kind of you know, step where your heart really desires. Maybe you need to be in a career field where you spread kindness. Maybe you want to be like a CNA or a veterinarian. See, and then at the bottom of the deck, you have move. It says, a long walk is good for the soul. Get outside and allow Mother Nature to lift your spirits. Yeah, you just need to spend time with yourself. Yeah, literally the top card of the deck, self. If beating yourself up worked, you'll be thin, rich, and happy. Try loving yourself instead. See? You just gotta follow your heart. You gotta follow your intuition. You already know what you want. Subconscious or not. Like, you... Either it's time to align yourself or to stop procrastinating. One more card. How can pile number 1 fix their money? Ooh, okay. I said one more card. It was doing so good with the one card. You seen it was flying out. Now it's like, no, I said 2 more. That's how you have to be, though. Like, even if somebody asks you, like, hey, can you do this? And if it don't feel aligned with your heart, don't do it. You have grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Maybe you're reaching a rough patch right now financially. You have happiness. I'm aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path. Again, I feel like grief might be actually for your comfort zone. Yeah, then you have courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. That's what I was saying earlier. You gotta be brave. You gotta be real brave. I feel like you might have to lose this 9-to-5 job. Maybe you have to lose kind of some people to really align with yourself. I mean, maybe these people are weighing you down. Maybe it's not people. Maybe it's just, you know, a fear of failure. You gotta figure out what makes you happy. And for some reason, I'm getting like, what makes you tick. I don't know why that's a part of it, but kind of like know your pros and cons. Kind of like just really learn yourself, really be with yourself more. Ask yourself important questions. And I think you will reach the big potential that you have within. You just got to keep working for it. You got to break down the big goals into small goals. And be able to let go. Know that you're following your own beat. Don't sit here and compare yourself. I don't care if someone might be 10 years younger than you or something like that, and they're, you know, they might have more money than you. It don't matter. Because at the end of the day, it's as long as you get there. Everybody has their own pace. Everybody has his own time. You just have to kind of put yourself out there. Learn yourself, and trust your abilities. Because you immediately have the Chariot, and the Chariot is success. You're asking about career. The Chariot is one of the cards that you want to come out. And it was like the first 3 cards. Okay? I don't think you have much to worry about. You just need to kind of take more action. You did have the move card. Alright, pile number 1. This is all that I have for you today. If this reading resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does mean a lot to the channel. If you want to book your own personal reading on what is blocking your money, the link is in the description at BlazedGoddessTarot.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed. Bye! Hey, pile number 2. If you choose this crystal, then this is your reading. Before we get into it, I do want to say that this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you want to book your own What's Blocking Your Money reading, the link is in the description at BlazedGoddess.com. And if this reading resonates, please subscribe. It really does mean a lot to the channel. But we're going to go ahead and get into it. So for pile number 2, what is blocking their money and how to fix it? For pile number 2, what is blocking their money and how to fix it? That is too many cards. You have the 10 of Swords, the 5 of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, you have the Page of Swords. I'll take them. Oh, that's 3 cards. We're gonna make them fit. We are gonna take them. I can never say no to taking cards. You have the 10 of Cups. You have the 4 of Cups. You have the Empress. And this card also wants to come out. Like, I accidentally left it like that. So we're going to take it to the 9 of Pentacles. Okay. We're not taking any more cards. You got the Page of Wands. So with the pages, right, you have the Page of Swords and then the Page of Wands. So with pages, it's like a start of something, a start of a new journey. And I feel like that's definitely what you want. If I eventually say girl, like if I'm talking and I say girl, it's just because of the Empress. And the Empress is a feminine energy, okay? So if I get hyped and say girl, it don't matter if you're a girl or a dude. I'm just saying that for the feminine energy. Because this is definitely calling for your divine feminine side to come out, okay? Male or female, okay? Just want to clarify that before we get into it. But I feel like with the 10 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles, something happened. Something that really hurt you, something that really made you feel left out in the cold, made you feel, you know, definitely less than. And I think that's kind of like what's blocking you. You might be grieving something. You might be kind of like down and out is what I'm feeling like. You might also be a single mom or a single parent, but you don't have to be. You might also just be healing your inner child. But how to fix all this is really like, because there is really like how I feel is to fix it. With the Queen of Wands, and especially with the Page of Swords looking at the Queen of Wands, it's kind of just you need to remember that you're a queen, okay? I was about to say that B word, but I don't think I can say that on YouTube. But you gotta remember that you're a queen or king. You're royalty, okay? You need to remember your worth. Because I was doing this reading before and my head started to hurt a little bit. So I just cut the video out. This is what the cards actually looked like. And the Queen of Wands was one of them. The Queen of Wands was actually the first one, if I remember correctly. I think it was the first one. And then you had the Queen of Pentacles beside it. Because those two queens came out, right? And I thought, honestly, the Queen of Wands was only coming out because my cat was near me. And she was trying to get my attention. And obviously you see a cat on this card. But clearly this is for you. You need to remember that you're attractive, first of all. No matter if this is a breakup or something that's making you feel less than, you need to remember that you are worth it and that you can accomplish whatever you set your mind to. I mean, the Queen of Wands is very attractive, very alluring, but the Queen of Wands is also very passionate about what she's doing. She gets fired up, she gets motivated, and she will go kick some butt if she needed to, okay? You need to remember who you are. Plain and simple. You need to remember who you are, what your goals are, okay? I don't feel like this is so much like pile number 1, where they was moving. This is more of a, you need to come back to yourself. Yes, this happened, but this happened to teach you that you could still come up on top. You are that queen. You have the Empress. The Empress is all the queens in one. You're capable of all the things that you want to do. Even if you think it's impossible, it's not. You can get there. Just like I told pile number 1, you need to trust your intuition. You need to trust your abilities. You need to trust yourself. And especially with the 9 of Pentacles, it's more of a, you need to get back up on your feet again. You need to be independent once again. And then once you get like this, you will be in a better state to enter this 10 of Cups. I mean, I feel like some of y'all might be in a relationship with the 10 of Cups, but it don't have to be. If you go back to yourself and enter, like, your potential and just back into your energy is what I feel like. You might have kind of like fell off for a little bit and kind of lost focus, lost track of things. And now it's kind of more of a, hey, get back to it. Remember who you are. Remember what you're doing. Yeah, this knocked you down, but it was meant to make you get back up. It's supposed to make you realize, hey, I can do it again. If I can do it once, I can do it again. If I can do it again, I can do 10 times more, you know? But it's also, you need to learn how to take care of yourself. You need to learn more about yourself, I feel like, as well. But it is definitely to come back to yourself. And also learn how to say no. Like with the 4 of Cups, you might always been like, kind of like running around for other people. You might be running around thinking that you're helping and all this and that. And then you could kind of like drain. You get where you have really no energy for yourself. Family or not, you know. You need to still take time for yourself, you know. Take yourself on dates. Take yourself on solo weekly dates. And really like build that connection with yourself again. But this is more of a realize your worth. Realize that you are capable. And like figure out what makes you feel more you. Like maybe this isn't a relationship. Maybe you're happy with your status, regardless if you're taken or not. Maybe this is a job that's making you feel like this. Maybe you're just tired of working like 9 to 5. Maybe you go into a job and maybe the job's not bad, but you're not really feeling satisfied at the end of the day. You're just like, oh, another day, another dollar. And you might need to ask yourself, okay, you know, what makes me happy? What makes me feel more myself? And what jobs kind of align with that? I mean, I even feel like maybe this isn't so much about money. Maybe it's more about finding the right career for you. Because maybe it's not like a step down. It might just make it a little more enjoyable to get the money. To make the money a little more easier. Because maybe, you know, back to the, you know, maybe you don't like your job now. So if you start enjoying your job, if you get another one and you enjoy that one, then it's not such a pain to get that same amount of money. It's not as dreadful. It don't feel harder. You actually enjoy it, and you will enjoy wanting to come in more and putting your all into it, you know, stuff like that. Because, like, even if your energy is kind of, like, in a state where it's kind of, like, tense, that could also throw it off. Like, even if it's, like, you getting invited out to dinner, that is still, to me, abundance, right? So if you're always frustrated at work, then you might not be, like, asked to the work dinner or something. You're not getting free food or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's still, like, abundance. You're still getting free food, which is still worth $. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? You're not allowing this is more of an abundance flow. There it is. It's more of an abundance flow. You're not even getting, like, materialistic things. And I feel like if you start believing in yourself and understanding that, you know, you are that person and you will accomplish whatever you set your mind to, it'll happen. And I feel like it'll also help with your love life too. I think you just need more of a job to kind of lift your spirits up. You need something to kind of take the weight off your shoulders more than more money or more bonuses and stuff like that. Because also it may also be like, maybe it's not a relationship. Maybe it's your work crew. You know, if they don't think that you're enjoying your job, why give you a raise? So it's kind of just, I mean, it could all be all above what I'm just saying, you know, abundance and a raise and stuff like that. But it's like, maybe your boss or whoever thinks that you don't like it there, and that might be potentially what's stopping them from giving you a raise. What is blocking their money and how to fix it? You have investigate. See, and Scorpios are very, like, depth people. And I'm pretty sure that's also a full moon. See, and then you have discomfort. Yeah, see, investigate the discomfort. What I was just saying, like, what? Yeah, that's literally what I've been saying. You need to figure out how to make the money easier, I think. Is there discomfort at work? Is there discomfort at home? Like, is this, you know, maybe it's not so much about money. Maybe you're just projecting other lifestyle. Oh, what am I trying to say? It's like, maybe you're having relationship problems. This is just an example. Maybe you're having relationship problems, and instead of saying, okay, I'm having relationship problems, you're saying, well, I'm not getting enough money. Maybe you're projecting another issue onto your career. Does that make sense? Or maybe it's like drama at work, right? And it's making you feel uncomfortable. So you're saying, well, I'm not getting enough money. So instead of saying, you know, it's the people and them trying to take accountability, you're saying, okay, well, money's a problem. I'm not getting paid enough for this. I really hope this is understanding. Making sense. I hope y'all understand. But that is what I'm getting. I feel like it's more of a figuring out the discomfort. I mean, it might not even be at work. Maybe it is within yourself. Maybe you have to come back to yourself, like I've been saying. But it's kind of like just diving more deep into why you kind of feel stuck. Why do you feel negative? And kind of working off of that. Be like, okay, so, like, even if you take a piece of paper, let's say, and you write down, okay, this, and this makes me feel like this, right? Because that's, you know, how you open your feelings. That's how you actually appropriately communicate. But then you write, okay, so this is what makes me feel like that. And then you write another section, and you're like, this is how I fix it. All right? Like, for an example, because I feel like examples help. Let's say at work, I didn't like so-and-so. And so-and-so does this, and this. And it makes me feel crappy, right? Like, so-and-so dropped a bunch of papers off at my desk. And it made me feel crappy. It made me feel like it was unfair. It made me feel like I was doing more, right? But then you look at it and be like, okay, so how do I fix this? Okay, I could fix this by talking to someone higher. I could talk to somebody about how I feel, or I could talk to that person about how I feel. Maybe I can compromise with that person. You know, kind of just sitting down and writing it out can help. Also, speaking up and talking about your discomfort with the actual problem itself. Because I feel like it's more of a, maybe you don't know all the information. Because again, like, sometimes I feel like you might not know certain aspects of yourself. Maybe you're having an underlying issue that doesn't really mean it's the job's fault. It doesn't mean that you're not making enough money. But maybe you have to work on that underlying issue to make it where your energy kind of flows that stuff more in and out. Like, for an example, I keep saying for example, but I had my first car blow, right? It stopped working, it didn't turn on, and I looked up a video on why, right? I was like, why is this happening? Is it something wrong? Like, what did I do to deserve this, basically? Even though you're not supposed to ask that, right? I asked that anyways, and it said because of my anger. My anger needed to be fixed on, and that this was supposed to help. And it makes so much sense because when my car started messing up, I was having a lot of family issues, and I ended up getting really, like, irritated, more frustrated, like, kind of like more of a snap of a finger. I was upset. And it was there to teach me, you know, hey, you need to kind of realize that there's more to this. You know, my energy didn't, 100% cause it, but it added to it because of, you know, my energy. What I was attracting because of the energy I was in. Does that make sense? So it's more of a, if you're in this energy, then that's how you're going to look at everything else. If you start looking at yourself in a Queen of Pentacles, not Queen of Pentacles, but a Queen of Wands, as you're worthy, that you're desirable, then it's going to have more of desiring more opportunities. People are going to desire you because you desire yourself, you know? You embody that energy, so you allow it to flow more easily than a toxic energy or a negative energy. I hope that makes sense. Pile number 2. Pile number 2. What is blocking their money? How to fix it? You have the Lamb, and you have the Phoenix. Yeah, I feel like you might have, yeah, there's the Eagle. It kind of reminds me of, like, you kind of need to take a minute, be soft with yourself, and then kind of hunt down the problem and rise above it. The Phoenix is really an energy of coming from the ashes, right? And I feel like no matter what happened here, a job, breakup, grief, whatever, it's really stopping you from becoming everything that you need to be. So it's kind of like a wake-up call is what I'm getting. To kind of like go within, figure yourself out again. Pile number 2, what is blocking their money and how to fix it? You have elevate. Yes, what I've been saying. You get what you believe you desire. It's time to raise your standards. What did I just say? I don't even need to explain this card, man. Like, this is more, this overall energy is, yeah, you even got self-worth and you got patience. So I feel like you need to work on yourself, and then everything else is going to flow. It's not going to be immediate, but yeah, I definitely feel like if you raise your vibration, the more stuff is going to come in. The more abundance you're going to have. You are what you attract. If you don't like your situation, elevate. You're like, I'm higher than that. Yeah, peace. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energy. Guys, regret. I know that I cannot change the past. Yep. You gotta remember what you can control and what you can't control. And I feel like once you release all this, you're gonna have a lot more peace. And then once you have peace, you'll have more room to allow more things to come in. Okay? But that is all that I have for you, pile number 2. I really hope this made sense. I eventually got there. I tried so hard and I eventually got there, alright? But if the reading does resonate, please subscribe. It really does mean a lot to the channel. If you want to book your own personal reading on what is blocking your money, the link is in the description at BlazedGoddess.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed. Bye! Hi, pile number 3. If you chose this little ducky, then this is your reading. Before we get into it, I do want to say that this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you want to book your own personal What is Blocking Your Money reading, the link is in the description at BlazedGoddess.com. And if this reading resonates, please subscribe. It really does mean a lot to the channel. But we're going to go ahead and get into it. So for pile number 3, what is blocking their money and how to fix it? For pile number 3, what is blocking their money and how to fix it? What is blocking pile 3's money? How to fix it? You have the 4 of Pentacles. You have the Sun. What is blocking pile number 3's money? How to fix it? You have the 6 of Swords. You have the Queen of Wands. You have the Emperor. I might get one more card, actually. For pile number 3, what is blocking the money? Let's fix it. Get the 5 of Pentacles. I don't know why, but self-image issues popped up in my head. And then you have the 10 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. What is blocking pile number 3's money? I feel like with the 6 of Swords, some of y'all might have to travel for like a certain job or a certain pay rate that you're looking for. Like maybe there is a certain state that you've been wanting to move to that actually has like more pay rates and more and more okay. Maybe you have to move to a state that pays more and rent is less, like the price and elevation is less. What's that elevation? Inflation. I don't know why I'm troubling over my words with this, the pile. I feel like with the 4 of Pentacles, you might be staying in your comfort zone. Maybe you need to start doing something that makes you more happy. Maybe you have to sit with yourself and figure out what makes you happy. Or I feel like you might have to be a little more happier with what you have or with who you are. Honestly, it might be one of those things where you end up meeting a partner and that's when you get more money. Because maybe like you end up traveling and you end up meeting somebody. And even if it's like a roommate, it don't even have to be like romantic. And y'all just start splitting rent or something of that nature. Or maybe you just get somebody that just sends you money. But with like the 5 of Pentacles, if it's that type of situation, it might not be for everybody, but if there is a situation that resonates with you like that, make sure you do protect yourself. Because with the 5 of Pentacles, I feel like maybe like if you end up getting kind of like financially dependent on somebody else, it might not end so well for you. But if you take that opportunity, if you are having a roommate or if you end up finding a roommate, then maybe still take that moment to like go to college or kind of figure out what you need to figure out. like if you are job hopping, maybe getting a roommate would help. Because with the Five of Pentacles is also giving me kind of a you don't have to do it by yourself type of vibe. And I feel like with the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck, like it instantly, I don't know if I said it out loud, but it just gave me a vibe of bad luck. Like you're just having a spring of bad luck. Because like with pile number 1 and pile number 2, I feel like I couldn't shut up about what's blocking their money and how to fix it. But like, that's why I was like, why am I stumbling so much on this pile? Because it's like, I feel like you're not really doing much to block it. You know? Like, for some reason, I feel like genuinely, you're on a good path. This might actually genuinely be one of those, be more kind of grateful, make you kind of realize, you know, you do have more than an average person. Maybe I feel like maybe if you really are looking for an answer to how to get more money, it's probably to talk to maybe your boss or something and see about getting a raise or something like that, or getting overtime, or seeing if you can travel in that company to another position or to another facility, maybe in another state. I don't know why I keep getting that with the Six of Swords, because I know not a lot of people are going to resonate with that. I mean, y'all might though. But the Six of Swords also talks about traveling to calmer waters. And the waters, you know, sometimes comes in waves. So it makes me really think like this is just, you know, a wave of bad luck. You know, like maybe you just have to get through this. Kind of like let go of holding on to materialistic things. And feel confident that there's a will, there's a way. And that you will still be okay. Even if you're scraping for money right now, or... Because with the Four of Pentacles, like I do feel like with these 2 feet being on the Pentacles, like I feel like you might even have like a savings account you can lean back on. It's just, it might not be enough money where you can just be throwing money everywhere. I feel like it could also be one of those things that you might, like you can go and try to see if you can get like food stamps or some type of financial help through the government or something like that. Or you can learn kind of like how to coupon, like how to kind of determine what you want versus what you need, and kind of like cut some of the things that you don't need to really be spending money on. Like if you have food at the house and you're all the time still getting fast food, then stay with getting fast food and stop getting groceries, or vice versa, eat at home and stop eating out. You know, if you're sitting here and you're buying, you know, an outfit every week, maybe you need to cut that outfit a week out. Maybe do it like a month. Once a month you go and you spend like $50 on yourself. You know, maybe budget in how much you spend on yourself, how much you really like reevaluate your budget, your finances. You could get a roommate. You could split the bills with somebody, or you can ask your boss for overtime or for a raise or a different position. I feel like it's also kind of a call for you to balance your feminine and your masculine energy. Maybe it's something like what's going to keep you sweet, what's going to keep you in this feminine energy, but what can make you feel like you are determined to get stuff done. For some reason, like it's popping up on my head like construction. Like have you ever seen like a female in construction? Like she's still a woman, she's still feminine, but she's doing like a masculine job, or what society thinks is masculine, you know? Does that make sense? I'm trying not to trigger anybody, but it's kind of hard to do sometimes. That's just what I'm getting. Maybe you have to pick up a harder job. So it's kind of like the money that you're asking for comes with consequences, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So it's more of a, if you really want to step out there, just make sure you're really sure. Because, like, even with this, like, it looks like he's going that way, right? But, like, look at that. There's a storm and everything. So it's like, just make sure, if you really want to step, make sure that you're going to step appropriately. Make sure it's safe. Because, like, honestly, there's not so much movement. Like, yeah, there's the Six of Swords. But, like, with the Four of Pentacles, like, with one of the other piles that came out, I think it was pile number 1. And it was more of a, they need to step out of their comfort zone. But this pile, it's giving me a different vibe. It makes me feel like you should really ask yourself, like, why isn't this enough? Why do I feel like it's not enough? Because it could also talk about getting another job. Like having 2 jobs at once. I just personally feel like if you move from where you're at, there will be some consequences. You're gonna kind of like regret it. And I'm not talking like bad consequences. I'm just saying like you might end up being like overburdened. You might be exhausted. It might just be too much. You might end up leaving this job and going to another job and just not liking that other job, and then you can't come back. Because you have the Four of Pentacles and then you go to the Five of Pentacles throughout this whole section, right? So it's like, it just, to me, it makes me genuinely feel like you are in a good spot. That, like, and it's like, it kind of bugs me because it's like, if I clicked on this reading and someone told me to be grateful with what I got, that's not what I'm asking, you know? But that genuinely is what I'm seeing. I feel like if you push too much, it's not going to work. I don't feel like the time for that is now. I mean, you can ask for more money. You can ask for more responsibilities at work. But I don't see it going nowhere. I feel like if you try to force it, next thing you know, you're going to have too many responsibilities and you still won't feel underpaid. You might bite off too much than you could chew. Personally, I don't see it being positive. I feel like it will create more friction, it will create more problems. It'll just stress you out. Because I feel like you might push for it and then it might not work how you want it to, and then you'll feel crappy about yourself when really, you know, your self-worth doesn't have a dollar sign on it, you know? You might end up losing your mentality, your sanity, trying to go after more money, and it's just not worth it. Yeah, structure, like I said. Maybe you do have to leave, but I feel like there's levels to it. And there's blue. Maybe you just need to speak to somebody. Maybe you already got a foundation. Maybe you're just rushing it. Maybe, you know, with this job, you have an annual raise coming up. So there's no need to rush it, you know? I feel like because you have journey. Like I was about to say, like, everything is already in session for you. Like, it's already in motion. It's already coming your way. I just feel like you kind of have to be a little more patient for it. Kind of stay in the calm waters. Don't really kind of like break your back for it, you know? Because you will break your back for it. Like it will kind of, I feel like, hurt you. What is blocking pile number 3? And how to fix it. How to fix that money. B. Yeah, it's like the word can be. I feel like you're already doing as much as you can. Yeah, and then you got the fox. The fox is like kind of like, you can still have your eyes on the prize. You can still ask for more money. But I feel like you don't need to be taking action. I feel like if you kind of put it in the back of your mind, it'll probably sneak up on you. Like, oh, there's more money now. You know, you might just randomly get money in the mail. You might think that can't happen. Literally what I just say, surprise. I just click, I'm so sorry, but like that, it just gives me chills because like that's literally what I was just thinking about. Like you might end up just getting money in the mail randomly. Like you just might have like a random bonus at work. It's kind of just like allow it to come to you. Or realize that you are what you attract. So just ask for it and it'll eventually come your way. But if you break your back for it, it ain't gonna work. You're just gonna have a broken back. For pile number 3, what is blocking the money and how to fix it? You have the right to change your mind. Recess. You have the right to change your mind. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like a change your perspective. I don't even know what that means. Let me look it up. Look what your body deserves love. Look at that. I literally been saying break your back. You don't want to overwork. Overworking is really bad. So recesses is to consider something again, especially if new factors have come into light since you first assessed the issue. See, and then right there, consider or assess again, especially while paying attention to new or different factors. So it's kind of like reconsider. Like even like look at this woman's face. Like she doesn't have a smile and then she does, you know? So it's kind of like it's like a friendly reminder from universe, like, okay, you need to calm down, like change your mind, really reconsider. Are you okay with this? Like, do you really want it that bad? I don't think you do, because you deserve more, but you don't deserve to really put yourself out there more than your limit. What is blocking pile number 3's? Not me having to look a word up. I'm not the best at vocabulary, okay? Sometimes I can't even I can't even pronounce words half the time. If you cannot tell, I'm so sorry, but at least I looked it up. You gotta eventually learn, right? What is blocking pile number 3's money and how to fix it? Pile number 3. This one. Self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Yeah. And then you have change. Once again, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. And that kind of throws me for a loop. So you have the right to change your mind, and then change, understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Maybe you have to really change your perspective. I think I might have already said that. I hope it was with this pile. Then you have self-esteem, I possess gifts of the soul. Yeah, so maybe you have to change what you're chasing. Maybe you're a real go-getter, and maybe you end up really putting yourself out on the line for an extra $1 or $2. Maybe you're not doing what your soul is telling you to do. I feel like you gotta really, like, there's more to life than just money. Even if you go to a new job and you learn something new, you're taking more than the money part of it. You're learning more about yourself, or you're learning more about the world. I feel like there's something from the positive and the negative that you can take from this. From your feelings, you can change, how you feel, change your mindset, and compromise with yourself. Be like, okay, my feelings of wanting money is valid. Who don't want more money? But what other things is out of balance in my life right now? What other things are calling for my attention? What other things can I work at? And if you absolutely want to push for something, maybe you can find a little side hustle you can create. Maybe you can house sit, pet sit, or you can go and clean houses. Maybe there's something that you could be out there doing where you can stay busy, but maybe that's the thing. Maybe you're being too busy. Because bees, they kind of work until they're dead. Literally. They could be out there hunting for honey and just die, I think. Honestly. So it's you kind of have to reconsider your values. But if anything, if you absolutely want an answer, other than not to force it, reconsider. Well, you even got 11:11. If you absolutely want an answer, try to figure out something that maybe you can construct on your own time. Maybe there's an online class that you can, teach. Maybe there's something that you can do on the side, because you do have 2 moons. Maybe you work a 9 to 5, but then you work from 5 to 9, You do something where you are getting money here, but then you come back and you do something that actually makes you happy. So, because a lot of businesses, you got to make money to make money, So it might just be one of those situations. But I really do feel really, really, really consider what you're doing and where you're going. If it does not feel right, then it's not the right time, and the universe will show you, okay? I genuinely do want to say that. This is a warning. Because I genuinely feel if you push too hard, you're going to push your limit and hurt yourself, or you're going to hurt your chances of getting that money. Because let's say you're cleaning houses, right? And you end up overworking yourself, and you end up feeling negative, you're feeling drained, you're feeling all these negative emotions. Your guests, the people that you're cleaning houses for, they're going to feel that. Your clients are going to feel that. And you might end up snapping at them and then ruining your chances at all the time with that person. And you make it where you can't even go back to that person and be like, hey, let me clean your house again. You don't want to mess it up, is what I'm trying to say. You don't want to force it to mess it up. But that is all that I have for you, pile number 3. If this reading resonated, please subscribe. It really does mean a lot to the channel. If you want to book your own personal reading on what is blocking your money, the link is in the description at BlazedGoddessTarot.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed. Bye!